has laid out the succession plan, and India's stance on Dalai Lama's succession has sparked a significant debate, with Union Minister Kiren Rijiju asserting that the Tibetan spiritual leader alone holds the authority to determine the successor of him. Now, this move has marked a clear rejection of China's claims to approve the reincarnation process. India's government has made it very clear that Dalai Lama's succession is a spiritual matter, not a political one, and that only Dalai Lama himself can decide his reincarnation. This stance is supported by the trust founded by Dalai Lama's office in 2015, which will have the authority to recognize the future reincarnation. As far as China's interference is concerned, it has rejected the Dalai Lama's succession plan, insisting that any future heir must receive its seal of approval. In fact, Beijing's 2007 Order Number 5 mandates that reincarnation of Tibetan Lamas must first be approved by the Chinese government, a move widely criticized by the human rights group. Listen in. I'm joined by MP of Tibetan Parliament in Exile, Lhagyari Namgyal Dolkar. Thank you so much for speaking to Republic TV. I want to understand from you, how do you look at the succession plan of Dalai Lama? He has said that the trust will decide on that. It could be either boy or a girl, and China will have no role to play in this. How do you look at this?
Thank you for having me, Akanksha. The announcement that was made formally by His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, the information that we have received that indeed the succession of the Dalai Lama shall continue, and that we will be able to see a 15th Dalai Lama. So that is a fantastic news that the Tibetan community and the Buddhist community around the world is cherishing and celebrating. Having said that, of course, we are chasing this big elephant here in terms of talking about this important matter, but I have been trying to reiterate that when it comes to His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, we are looking at the 90 years old 14th Dalai Lama who's doing physically very well, but spiritually and mentally even better. So in terms of that, we're hoping that he'll have many more years to go as he's promised to us. But if we have to highlight on this matter, what is very crucial for us to understand is that we are talking about the reincarnation of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. So, actually common sense would guide anyone that if we are talking about one individual, it is that same individual who shall govern and be the sole legitimate authority to decide upon his or her future reincarnation. And as such, His Holiness has made it very clear that when it comes to his reincarnation and the succession of the Dalai Lama institution, it shall entirely be his decision, which shall be informed with due diligence to his Gande Podang Institute, which shall inform the message as per the guidance and recognition from the High Lama of the Tibetan religious gathering. And what is important, that message that sends out is the fact that China or anyone else has no authority to intervene in this matter, especially China. And when we are talking about the Chinese authority, we are talking about such a system who does not believe in the not just the reincarnation process, but the concept of rebirth itself. And it's a complete farce that they would even consider intervening in this.
Absolutely. And they've also responded to the succession plan. They said that it will be only them that will take a call on this. How do you react to the statement that came in just after the succession plan was decided by Dalai Lama?
Well, as always, it's again a gross violation of the religious freedom of the Tibetan people. This is a practice that has been going on for centuries. And when we are talking about the concept that the procedure that they've mentioned is that of the golden urn, and that concept had come only in the 1700s during the Manchu emperor, and it's not even the Chinese. However, when it comes to the reincarnation of the Dalai Lama, it precedes by more than 250 years of the Manchu Qing emperor. So I do not understand that this newly established PRC that has come about only in 1949 would even dare to intervene in such a manner, but then it's Chinese Communist Party. But however, what is very important to highlight is that we are talking about a spiritual matter. So when it comes to the reincarnation, the people, the followers, will accept the individual, the reincarnation that His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama and his office themselves recognize and announce, and not, especially, certainly not who Chinese Communist Party endorses as. We have seen that in past. We have seen how the Chinese recognized Panchen Lama is being responded by the Tibetans inside Tibet, and of course outside as well. So history shall repeat itself that, whoever Chinese Communist Party recognize in their utmost political game, it shall not succeed.
Absolutely. And since this is a spiritual matter, I want to understand from you the ground situation. What are the other parliamentarians local that you must have spoken to, saying about the succession plans, China's intervention, could be boy or a girl? And that is a very interesting point. What are the people around you, the parliamentarians, saying on this?
Honestly speaking, the mood and the aura in Dharamsala, or in terms of my colleagues, we are currently in a celebration mode. We are trying to celebrate His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama's 90th birthday, and celebrating that he will live many more years with us to continue the amazing work that he's been doing so far. This is actually the mood in terms of that. However, when it comes to the reincarnation, it is, as I mentioned earlier, it's entirely his decision. In whatever form, wherever he wishes to be born, he's made it very clear that, I must highlight that he's made it very clear that he'll be born in the free world. So this is all we know of, that he can come in any form, he can come wherever he wants, but he's made it very clear that it is certainly not under the occupation of China, and that we're hoping that it will be a free Tibet. However, if that is not the case, it will certainly not be occupied Tibet under the Chinese Communist Party's regime.